Turn the volume up. Listen to my whispers. Close you eyes, and let the darkness take shape around you. Every creak, every breath, every shadow you imagine is part of the story. Are you ready? Welcome to Derry, a place that seems ordinary, quiet streets, old houses, friendly faces. But beneath the surface, something ancient stirs. Every 30 years, when the rain falls and the town forgets, it awakens. It hungers, it laughs, and it feeds on fear. Tonight, we'll follow the trail of red balloons that drift through the empty streets, leading us straight into the lair of the one creature Derry can never escape. So turn off the lights, lock the door, and whatever you do, don't follow the balloon. This is the last laugh of Pennywise. The town of Derry had always been quiet. Too quiet, maybe. Every 30 years or so, the peace would break. People whispered about disappearances, about shadows under the bridge, about laughter echoing through the storm drains. But as the years passed, people forgot. They always forgot, until the red balloon came back. It was early autumn when the first one appeared. A single, perfect red balloon drifting down Main Street, dancing lazily in the breeze, as if it had a mind of its own. No one saw where it came from. No one noticed the faint giggle that followed it. Jamie Harper was the first to vanish. He was only 9, a shy, quiet boy who loved his paper boat and his yellow raincoat. His mother said he'd gone outside to play in the rain. Just for a few minutes, she'd said, wringing her hands when the police came later that night. He said he wanted to see the balloons. The officers exchanged looks. Balloons. They searched the storm drains, the woods, even the old Kitchener Ironworks ruins. But all they found was a soggy yellow raincoat and a smear of red on the concrete that wasn't paint. When the parents gathered to pray that night, they didn't see the sewer grate on Niebolt Street open slowly, and they didn't see the face peering out, white paint cracked, red lips stretched too wide. A voice, soft as silk, whispered from the darkness, "Come back soon, the fun, only just begun." A week later, the red balloons were everywhere, floating through the schoolyard, tied to bicycles, bobbing outside the library windows, each one perfectly round, perfectly red, and filled, the janitor swore, with something thicker than air. Some kids started popping them for fun. But when one older boy named Corey popped his, the laughter started. It wasn't playful laughter. It was deep, gurgling, wet, like someone laughing with their throat full of blood. Corey didn't come to school the next day. His little brother found his shoes in the basement, pointed toward the wall. The concrete was cracked, and from the crack, a faint red glow pulsed like a heartbeat. By the end of October, 5 children were missing. The town held a meeting in the old church. Parents screamed. Cops argued. The mayor swore the disappearances were just coincidence. But while the adults fought, the kids began hearing something. A song. At night, beneath the manholes, through the drains, even from the sinks. It started as a hum, like a calliope from a carnival far away. Then words followed, a rhyme whispered just beneath hearing. Balloons for boys, balloons for girls. Down in the dark, where laughter swirls. You'll float too, oh yes, you'll float. Come find the clown who loves your throat. No one knew where it came from, but the sound made the water in the pipes tremble. 14-year-old Emma and her friends thought they were brave. They'd grown up hearing stories about it, about the clown who lived in the drains. So they dared each other. One October evening, they walked to the abandoned house at 29 Niebold Street. The one with boarded windows and a basement door that always swung open by itself. They brought flashlights and whispered jokes to hide their fear. They didn't notice the single red balloon tied to the gate, bobbing gently, even though there was no wind. Inside, the air smelled of damp and rot. "Hello," Emma called, her voice trembling. Something laughed back. It came from everywhere and nowhere at once. A high, sharp giggle that made their bones ache. Then came the voice. Soft, playful, old. "Why, hello there, children. You look like fun." Their lights flickered. Something moved in the corner. White gloves, silver buttons, a face painted with cruelty and hunger. Pennywise stepped from the shadows, his eyes bright as coins, his mouth stretching into an impossible smile. Emma screamed and ran for the stairs, but the wood melted under her feet, turning into wet, red flesh. Her friends grabbed her arms, but hands, dozens of hands, reached up from the floor, pulling them down. They vanished into the dark, their flashlights clattering on the floor. The beam caught Pennywise's face for one last second, his teeth sharp and glistening, before the light went out. Outside, the balloon popped, and for a moment, the house exhaled a sigh of laughter. After the Niebold kids disappeared, Derry fell into panic. People tried to leave. The highways flooded. The phones stopped working. Every night, more balloons appeared tied to doorknobs, floating by bedroom windows, rising from the sewers like bubbles from a dying pond. The power flickered, the drains gurgled, and in the dark, Pennywise walked. He didn't need to hide anymore. He danced through the streets as if on parade, 1,000 red balloons floating above him. The laughter of children, the ones he'd taken, echoed from the sky, twisted into screams. A firefighter found him first, or maybe it found the firefighter. They said the man opened a manhole to look for survivors and saw 2 glowing eyes staring up at him. Just before the town's main gas line ruptured, Derry burned. Flames rose high into the night, lighting up the smoke like a carnival tent. And from the center of it all came the sound of a calliope, wheezing, broken, but still playing that awful tune. "You'll float too." Weeks passed. The fire burned itself out, but Derry was gone. No bodies were ever found. No screams, no survivors, just ashes and one red balloon drifting lazily above the ruins. It floated through the empty streets, past the school, past the church, past the scorched remains of Neibolt Street. Then slowly it descended, down into the cracked pavement, down through the broken pipes, down into the tunnels below, where something ancient waited, laughing softly, licking its painted lips. Pennywise sat there, surrounded by the bones of the town, strings of balloons tied to the skeletons like party guests. He tilted his head, listening to the silence. Then, in the voice of 1,000 children, he whispered, "Thank you for coming to my party." And with one last hiss of laughter, the sewer closed over him. The water stilled, the balloon burst. Years later, travelers passing through Maine sometimes swear they see something strange on the road that leads to Derry. A single red balloon drifting lazily across the sky. If they follow it with their eyes, they might just see, for the briefest moment, a figure standing at the edge of the woods. White face, yellow eyes, a smile too wide to be human. And if you ever see that balloon, don't look away, because by the time it pops, you'll already be floating too. Thank you for listening. Happy Halloween. If you enjoyed tonight's story, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more nightmares.